Hey guys, it's Maymay, and today we're making something I've never made before, and that is a paper purse using poster board. Now, Shirley Murray emailed me and asked me if I would try that to make it a bigger purse than the ones I've made in the past. Now, I'm gonna link below all of my paper purses. We have a playlist of those, so if you wanna see all the other sizes, you'll have that below. So the poster board I'm using is 28 by 22. It's a big piece of poster board, and this is gonna be super easy, you guys, really seriously. Here's what you're gonna do. On both sides, you're gonna do the same thing, okay? You're gonna take your ruler and a pencil, and I'm using a pencil on this black poster board because I think I can see it better, but if you're using a different color, just remember whatever you're marking it with, you wanna be able to see it. So I'm gonna come in from this corner, okay, and I'm gonna mark 8 inches. So right here, 8 inches. Then I'm gonna come in from the other corner and mark 8 inches. So just right here and mark it at 8. Now what I find helpful is once I've marked that 8-inch mark is to come back and make a little arrow to the point. You just kind of put a little arrow there so you'll know that is your fold line, okay? Now I've done that on the long side. I'm gonna turn it around and I'm gonna do 8 inches again. So I'm gonna come in from this side and I'm gonna mark 8 inches in. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do my little arrow mark so I'll know. And then from the other side, 8 inches as well. It's really, really easy, okay? I promise. I kind of wish I'd have done the other purse this easy, but this one worked out well. All right, now I'm gonna slide this up, and on the short side, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna mark it at 8 inches, 8 inches in, the very same thing, and then 8 inches on the other side. Could it get any easier? That's all you gotta remember, 8 inches. If you're using this size poster board, if your poster board might be bigger, just maybe cut it down to my dimensions, and I'll make sure to put those in the blog post that we'll link below too, so you'll have all those dimensions and where we're marking things. So 8 inches, make my little arrow, and then 8 inches. Now I'm gonna tell you this, you're not gonna get this perfectly crisp, perfectly measured project because this poster board is a little hard to do that with. But you'll get pretty close, okay? It'll look like a purse when we're finished. So what you're gonna do is from one arrow to the other, where we measured 8 inches on either end, we're gonna fold that. But I'm gonna flip this over, and here's why. I find that I can see my pencil marks better if I do it this way. And also, I'm gonna peel this off. I should have already done that, so let me get that off real quick. You have to take your time with these guys, because they tear, like this one's tearing. And worst case scenario, I can hide it. So I got the majority of that off. I probably can hide it, so I'm not gonna spend too much time on it, but if I can't hide it, I can put something over it. We'll see. All right, so what you wanna do, make sure I have this in camera where you can see it. Starting from one end, and I've got it the long way first. So I'm gonna fold this back until I see that little arrow mark that I made. And what I'm gonna do is fold on that arrow and line up the edge of my poster board onto itself. Let me slide up a little bit so you can see this. So I've got my arrow right here, and I'm lining that poster board up like this, and I'm gonna press it down. But I'm not gonna crease it yet. Now I'm gonna turn it where I can get to it, and I wanna make sure down here I'm on the arrow as well. And if I do that, I am. Now I'm just going to crease it. Now again, you're going to get a little off. It just does. We can trim and things when we need to, but this poster board gets just a tiny bit off, so you'll probably be 1/8 of an inch off here or there. I'm gonna bring my bone folder in, crease this down as best I can. And you wanna be careful with the poster board too. Mine has kind of a little sheen to it, and I don't really wanna leave too many marks from scoring. So just be careful, be easy with that. All right, same thing here. Go to your little arrow, which one is right there. I can see the one on this end. And I'm just gonna fold that down till that arrow is right on the edge. Okay, and I'm a little off over there. All right, and then crease that down. No one is going to look and see if you are perfectly measured correct, so don't stress if you get a little bit off. That's gonna happen. Now what we're gonna do is do the same thing on these ends. We're gonna fold forward. This time I'm gonna do a couple things. I'm gonna find my 8-inch mark. Here it is right here. And I can see it over there. So I'm gonna lay this down on my 8-inch mark so that that's my point. Okay. And here I'm gonna line up these lines and just make sure everything's pretty square. And then crease that. You guys know these purses pretty much start as a box. You know, it's pretty much how we do it. So this is kind of the same thing. we're just starting with a box that's a rectangle, and we're gonna go from there to make it a purse. All right, so I found my arrow. There's my other arrow. Line these lines up. Everything's looking good. Crease that down. So that's the hard part. The rest is fun. It's just assembly and decorating. All right, so now that we've got this all creased, I hope you can see, oh, you can see the lines, good. All right, what's gonna happen here is, and I'll show you, this section here should be 8 inches, and it is just at 8, and this should end up at 8 inches. Perfect. And it should be 12 inches wide, and it is. So I'm 12 inches wide, you can see that with my ruler, and 8 inches tall. So your purse will be 8 inches tall, okay? And a little more than 12 inches because we'll have these little ease sections. So now we're gonna do some cutting, and we're gonna cut on this fold line all the way to where they intersect the very first time right there. So just lift this up and just cut down. You do wanna try to be kind of precise because this is part of the edge of your purse. So take your time, don't get too wavy. So there's your first slice. We're gonna do that over here as well. Just like that, okay? And I'm gonna turn it around and do the same cuts on the other side. I appreciate this challenge, Shirley. I've never made a paper purse out of something so big, but this is kind of fun, and I love these challenges. So if you guys have something you'd like to challenge me to try, not a promise that I'll do it, but if you have a challenge, email me. That's what she did, and I was able to save that email and go back to it. So you can email me at maymay@maymaymadeit.com. and you can give me your suggestion. All right, you can just comment in the comments below too if you'd like, but those kind of get lost and sometimes I don't see them as easy. So here's what we've got, okay? Now I wanna turn this guy over. This is the inside of our purse where our fold lines go to. So I'm gonna turn this over. And before I assemble this dude, I want to cover whatever parts I'm wanting to turn into pattern paper, okay? For ease today, I'm not gonna put pattern paper on these edges, but I do want my purse itself to be patterned. So here and here is gonna get pattern paper. So let me show you what I'm using. I thought I'd do something Valentine theme. And so we have this pack in the store. I have not even opened it, I don't think I've even shown it on a crafter show yet. This pack is called, I've already been digging in, let me find the front cover. Here it is. It is called Wild Love, and this is photo play. And I'm gonna pick, I really think these are cute. I love these little hearts, but I also love this bamboo. Let me flip through here and pick out some pages. So I'm gonna use this that has the X's and the O's. I think it's really cute. And I'm gonna use this one that has little tiny hearts. This we're gonna make a closure with. This we're going to cover our front of our purse with. So what I need to do, I'm gonna just put 2 pieces together. You see I've got 2 pieces, and I'm gonna use my trimmer. And I happen to know, we talked about this earlier, that these panels are 8 by 12. So all I need to do is trim these 2 pages down to 8 inches. Now, we are gonna have to make handles. And because I use my entire piece of poster board, I can't use poster board to make my handles unless I buy an extra piece. I could buy another piece of poster board, but I think I can use these 2 strips that are left over to make handles. And oh, that might be cute to do the handles out of that. But I should be able to make handles out of that, no problem. We'll get there in a second. All right, so these guys are going to live here. So see, it's going to decorate my purse. Now, one thing I'm noticing is I'm overlapping just a little bit. I told you your folds are not gonna be perfect. This is not like using a scoreboard and stuff like that. So I think I'm gonna trim this just a little, or either put it right to the edge and trim it at the top. Yeah, I think I'm gonna trim just a little off of this. I really love that. Maybe I should use that side. I don't know, I really like those little balloon hearts. And this is gonna be one of those things you just have to kind of trial and error to get it right. The width is good. That feels much better. And if I have any hanging over that bothers me, I can always trim it later. So this piece is gonna go here. Now, I'm using sticky tape for this project, and I'm gonna use a lot. I'm not being shy about it because this is a big project, okay? So I'm gonna use sticky tape, and I'm running it almost to the edge, not exactly the edge, but almost to the edge. If you go right to the edge, sometimes it can be sticky on the end, and I don't wanna do that. Now I'm gonna take my ruler and use it as my slice. Just do that. And then right down here, really close to my fold line, not crossing my fold line, just really close to it. just lay my ruler down and slice it right where I need it. And then I'm just going to run a piece down here. Just like so. Tear that using the ruler. Then a piece here. I love 3D paper projects. This is a fun one too. What would you put in it? In the comments below, tell me what you would use to put inside here as a gift. It's not going to hold like a real purse. You got to remember that. You're not going to be able to put heavy things in it. But you could put probably some Bath and Body Works things. There's no telling what all you could put in here. Candies, maybe a stuffed animal. That would be really cute. Shirley, if you're watching, tell me what you wanted a larger one for. I'd like to know. Also, I've lost my pokey tool. How have I done it? I'm in a different filming space, so we had enough room. The other thing I'm going to do probably at the end of this video is I think I'm going to cut a piece of chipboard to go in the bottom to be a base, but we'll get there. We might end up using that if I feel like I need it. So I'm going to pull these adhesive backers off, just like so. Okay. Here we go. All right, now I'm going to lay that piece that I trimmed right close to the fold at the bottom, not overlapping that fold, and then just place that down. So now the front of my purse will be decorated. You know what's really cool? My original purse started with one piece of 12 by 12 paper. Isn't that interesting that we have a piece this big to make our purse out of? I think that's cool. All right, I'm gonna turn this around and do the same thing, and we'll get right back together. Okay, so I've covered the front and the back. They're the same, by the way, so it doesn't matter which one's the front and the back unless you want your paper to be in a certain place. Now we need to work on these side panels. These panels are gonna fold in and adhere behind this, just like in our other purses we did. So we need to add our sticky tape, and we have to add a lot. So I'm just gonna do this real quick, and then we'll get back together. Okay, so you can see I've got my sticky tape in those panels. That's where it goes in these panels that we cut, okay? So I'm gonna leave those there for a second, and we're gonna build our handles. Now, I made handles earlier for my test one, and I made them too wide, so you can trust me on this. This is what I would do. I'm gonna fold my handles to 1 inch. I had originally made them 1 1/4, but they were just too wide. So what I wanna do is I wanna cut myself some strips that are 2 inches wide, okay? And I need 2 pieces like this, 2 inches by 12 for each handle. And I think this is gonna be just enough, so we're not gonna waste any paper. So at this point, we're just using 2 pieces of 12 by 12 pattern paper. So there's one. And then let me trim this white piece off. And then what we're gonna do is cut 2 more, because I'm gonna have to stick these together and make my handles long enough. So I'm gonna cut this in half, 2 inches. And that gets me just what I need. I might be slightly over. See if I can trim some of that off. Won't really matter, but it might. Wasn't enough to worry about. Okay, so here's our handle pieces. Now what we're gonna do, and I don't have my scoreboard with me, so I'm gonna show you, I didn't bring it in here with me. I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna use this to make this work. So I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna put it into my trimmer again, and this time I'm gonna put it on the 1 inch mark, okay? And I'm gonna use my trimmer to help me score these on the 1 inch. And I don't even have my embossing tool, but I do have my bone folder. So I'm just gonna run down that trimmer line where there's a little indentation for us to slice with the blade, and use that as my scoring line. You can always make these things happen. You really don't even have to score it, you could just fold it in half. But I find when you're folding long pieces like this, scoring really does help. So keep going. You'll be surprised, this purse actually takes very minimal supplies. It's gonna seem really big, but it doesn't take very much to make it. So far, we're at 1 piece of poster board and 2 pieces of 12 by 12. We are gonna need some more because we gotta make a closure, but we're doing good. All right, so now what we'll do is just fold these in half, just like so, and crease those down. And you do want to crease these because you want them to be nice and crisp. So I'm just going to take my bone folder and just crease that. And I'm going to do that to all 4. I bet you guys are going to wonder about this new table. It's actually a photo backdrop that we use whenever we go on to Made It Con and trips. So I just used it like a tablecloth today. It's not really a table, and I got it from Amazon. It's just a wooden a wood board photo backdrop. So, because I would always want to know where new tables come from. That's something I like to know. So now that we've got our pieces scored in half like this, okay, we're going to take some sticky tape, and on one end, I'm going to lay it across the whole width, like so, and then put my ruler down, cut that away. So that is going to be how far I overlap my pieces, and I'll show you what I mean by that. This is 3/4 of an inch, almost 3/4 of an inch wide sticky tape. So I'm going to take my other strip and I'm going to lay it just till it covers that little piece of tape we just put down, so there's no tape sticking out, and that's how much I'm going to overlap my pieces. And then we're going to seal this guy shut with more sticky tape. So this is going to run right across like this, all the way down. Now listen to me, this is a tip you need to know. Don't run your sticky tape directly to the edge. If you do, when someone's holding the purse, it can be a little sticky on one side, and you don't want that. So give yourself a tiny little hair of a gap between the edge, and you won't get that problem. All right, and then I'm going to show you something I learned the hard way, and that is this. When you're folding this down, because it's so long, start in the middle, and then slowly work your way down to either side. Don't get ahead of yourself with this, and I'll show you why. On the first handle I made, I got a wrinkle because I didn't do it just right. So make sure you take your time on it. It's still gonna work, it'll be fine, but I have a wrinkle. And now I'm gonna take my bone folder and curl. Not like a ribbon curl necessarily, I just wanna get a bend in it. So see how we've got kind of a handle shape? It's cool. All right, we've got handles done. Let's work on the closure. Okay, I know it's no time for a snack, but we're using a dinner plate here. This is actually a salad plate, and let me tell you the size of it because I'm not exactly sure. I did not measure it. Let's see. If I get to the middle, it's about 8 inches. It's slightly over 8 inches around. And what I'm gonna do is cut myself a circle out of this paper. So use my pencil and trace it. And then cut myself a circle. This is gonna be my closure on the purse. I think this looks cute not to have just squares, but you could totally make a square closure too. I just think the circle makes it look a little more purse-like. So I'm gonna cut the circle out, and then we're gonna get ready to attach everything together. Okay, so that's gonna be my closure. It's gonna just go over the purse like this, but I want to do a closure to hold everything together, and I'm gonna use a magnet for that. So let me show you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cut myself a little strip of this paper, okay? Just about, let me see, I'm gonna cut this little white edge off. I'm kind of guessing right here, but I have some magnets I want to use. So I think I'll cut this 1.5 inches wide. And then I'm going to cut 2 pieces 2 inches long. So 1.5 inches by 2 inches. That's going to be what I put my magnet underneath to kind of hide it. Just because that's what I have in the room with me. You could use a punch, you could make like scallop circle punches or what have you if you wanted to. And you can use either side. When I put the purse together, I'm gonna decide which, if I want the pink side or if I want this side, because now I'm loving both, so we'll see. All right, let's head back to our purse itself. Bring our handles over here. Now the reason I wanted to make my handles in advance, or go ahead and get them ready, because I think I'm going to fold them up inside of here as I'm making everything. So let me show you what we're gonna do. I'm gonna flip this guy over, and we're gonna work one side at a time. So it'll be this side first, and as I go, I'm gonna go ahead and put my sticky tape on my handle. So since I'm gonna sandwich it in, here's how I'm gonna do it. You can tell I haven't done this part yet, right? We're doing this part together. So I'm going to take my sticky tape and I'm gonna run it on both sides. A piece here, and then I'm gonna wrap it around. And then that is going to be what I use to sandwich it in just a second. So let me do this side too. Again, this I haven't tried. I did put some handles on my sample, but I did them different and I didn't really like how they came out, so I thought I'd try something different with you guys real quick. All right, so I got my handle already set and go. There's the handle. Let's go ahead and do this one. Now I'm just gonna peel away all of the adhesive backer from this side, just like this. Get this ready to close up. Okay, so there is, let me show you what's gonna happen here. I've got that piece exposed. This is the front of my purse. This is gonna close like this, but I want my handle to sandwich in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and stick my handle down before I close it. I wanna decide which way I want this to go. That's the way I want it to go. I want that, the raw edge or the fold, not the folded edge, but the open edge. This is the folded edge. I want the folded edge to be to the outside. So what I'm gonna do is reveal this adhesive. Okay. And wrap that around. And I'm gonna go ahead and stick this down right here. And I'm using the width of the adhesive to decide how far down in the bag it's gonna go. All right, let's do this one. The big thing here is you wanna make sure you don't twist your handle, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So as you're getting it ready, you wanna make sure at the end down here, you don't have a twist in it, okay? So I'm gonna do the same thing, put it over here to this side, let the adhesive decide how far down, and so now you have a handle on your purse ready to go. Now then, let's go ahead and do this. Let's peel all these off too. All right, it's time to assemble. So I've got one side and I've got the front, and what I'm gonna do is at my fold line, right down here, which is hard for you to see, this fold line, I'm gonna line up the front of my purse with that. So on that fold line and start the stick, but before I seal it down, I'm gonna lay it flat like this, up where you can see, and then I'm gonna press it down. I just think I get a better press that way. Now I'm gonna stand it back up and bring this side over, which is super sticky. I'll bring it in like so, then lay it down. Let me open this where you can see what I'm doing, and press that into place. So having these pieces overlap like this really add to the sturdiness of your bag, which is what we did in the original as well. You'll remember I like to bring all this extra paper in and use it to our advantage. So now we just need to close the other side and put our handle on it as well. So with it laying here like this, let's put our handle on. And again, I want that raw edge to be to the inside. So I'm gonna do a test and make sure I'm getting it where it goes. That's to the inside. I'm gonna lay that down, just the width of my adhesive, just to get that in there. Just like that, okay? And then I can peel the backers off of these. All right, I'm just gonna tuck one in out of my way for now, because I don't need to mess with it just yet. I'm gonna do one side at a time. So I'm gonna bring this guy up, match up that line, and you'll see at this point it really just looks kind of like a box. I'm gonna go ahead and match up this line while I'm here. Then I'm gonna lay it down and stick my hand inside and flatten it. So see, we've just kind of made a big O box. But you'll remember when we made our purse the last time, it started that way as well. What changes it is when we do our closure and we start to cinch the sides. Look how big this is. It's so cool looking, isn't it? All right, so now it's time to put our closure on. So I'm gonna sit this over here for a second, and let's work on our magnets first. So which side? I gotta decide. This side, I don't know, I like this side better. I think it's cuter, so I'm gonna use that. So this will be the back side, okay? So we have these magnets. They are by Basic Gray. They come in this little pack that looks like this. You might not can see that, but we'll have links to this for you. These are the super slim, seriously strong self-adhesive magnets. And what you get is you get a plus and minus magnet. So what you need to do is take one of these guys that is a plus side and get it out of the packaging. It's really in there. There we go. So there's my plus side, and let me get a minus side. Doesn't matter which side you put them on your purse, as long as you have a plus and a minus. That's what matters, okay? So now that I got those out, I'm gonna take one of them. They are seriously strong, and they already have adhesive on them, but you know what? I never trust that because I always think this is gonna get used a lot. So I'm going to put a little adhesive here. Let me decide, about right there. And I'm gonna use both adhesives. I just always am afraid with this getting pulled and tugged on, it might need a little extra. So then I'm just gonna release this one as well. So there we go. Ooh, that's really sticky though. All right, and then stick that right down. Now you can hide this, which is what I'm gonna do, but you don't have to. This magnet does not look bad. You could just glue it just like that, but I'm gonna hide it because a lot of times you guys ask me how to hide them. This is how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna use some more sticky tape. And I'm gonna use this piece, that little 2" by 1.5" piece that we cut. I'm gonna hide that magnet with it. So I just glued that little 2" piece, or 1.5" by 2" piece, right on top of the magnet, and the magnet is now sandwiched inside of there. All right, now this can go onto our purse, but I'm gonna need some more sticky tape. We're using a lot of sticky tape today. So I'm gonna run some down here at the bottom. And I don't want to go more than halfway. I really don't think I want to go even exactly half with my tape. So I think I'm going to put one more strip here. Let's just see. Oh, I got that. Oh, it won't matter. Okay, so one more strip right here. I got it crooked, but it's not going to matter. When I stick it down, I can make sure I get it on there nice and straight. Okay, so this is where you decide front from back. All right, I want this to be the back of my purse. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna adhere this flap right here to the back, and then when I bring it over, that magnet, this will wrap over and our magnet will hold it shut. It'll be super cute like that, okay? So I'm gonna peel this away. You could use I have done so many different fasteners on the purses that are in our playlist. So if you don't have magnets or don't like the magnet idea, just look at the purse playlist and look at all the different fasteners I've done, and that will help you to decide which one you want to use. I'm also, I think, gonna lay this with the magnet facing me, all right? And then I'm gonna lay the purse into it so that I can make sure I get it centered. Looking good so far. I forgot to, I'll show you. I forgot to put this panel that had the white stuff underneath that black panel. That would have hidden it, but I'll just go in there and clean it out. I just forgot to do it. All right, now for the magnet placement on the other side. So you're gonna bring this over, and we're gonna wanna place our magnet here, but here's how you do it, or this is how I do it. I'm going to take this guy. I wanna peel the protector off of the adhesive on it, okay? And again, I'm gonna add, I really don't have to add because I'm gonna cover it anyway. So I'm just gonna take it and place it on top of this one. See, it lays perfectly on top. That's what I wanna do. And then it's gonna place itself on the other side of the purse. I'm just gonna wrap this around where I want it to be and then touch that down so that that magnet will catch. So see how that caught there? And I'm gonna undo it. So my magnet should stay, and it did. And I didn't get it perfectly centered, but I'm not worried about that. That is not gonna be a problem. I am gonna cover it, I think, with this. I think that'll be fine. You don't have to use a different color. You can use the same color paper, but I already have this one cut. I'm just gonna use it. Matter of fact, I think I'll use the blue side. That'll be cute. I use a lot of sticky tape in this process. I don't think even art glitter glue would be the glue to use for this. I think you need the stronger sticky tape for this project. So that's why I'm using it. You could use full sheets if you had that in your stash. I just thought this would work just fine. All right, so I'm gonna sit this up. I'll show you. Let's see how I can show you. So there's my magnet, and I'm just going to encapsulate it here. And even though I didn't get it perfectly centered, this piece looks centered, so it's fine. And totally, you could just use the same pattern paper here, or if you're really savvy, you could put it underneath this piece before you put it down, but I just wanted to decorate it first. All right, I'm gonna close this with my magnet. Okay, and with it closed, I'm just gonna kind of pinch these edges down here just a little bit to give it that shape. I don't really want to pinch the sides. I just want to kind of give it that shape. So this is our completed purse, but I think it needs something. I want to put a bow right here. So here's what I've got. This is the little buckles that we carry in the store. They look like this. That light is so bright. There they are, the little buckles. And this is just some ribbon I picked up at Walmart some time ago for albums that Brenda and I were making, but it happens to be the perfect color for this bag. So I'm gonna make a little bow using these buckles. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get myself some ribbon, the size that I want my bow to be, which, let me see. Yeah, that's pretty good. We'll cut that off. I don't know how long I want my tails yet, so I'm gonna leave myself a little extra. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to feed the loop and the tail of one end through here. So let's just see if I can do that. I'm just gonna feed that up through one side. Nope. Oh, I have to go down through the top. So I'm gonna feed it through the top so that my little buckle shows. So the loop and the tail through one end. When I pull this out, it'll make more sense. Let's get that out of there. So see there, loop and tail through one side of the buckle, all right? And then on the other side, I'm gonna do the same thing. Loop and tail from the front to the back of the buckle. Just like that. I think this is gonna work. And then I'm gonna pull this snug in the middle. And because we didn't really tie it, you can kind of fidget with it and pull pieces through and, you know, get it just like you want it. So I think something like this, let me lay that down. I'm so far from the camera. Something like that, and then I'm gonna glue that to the front of the purse. I'm gonna stick some sticky tape, just like so, and put this on my purse with it. And I think I've told you guys before, the first time I ever used sticky tape was actually in a fabric situation, so it does hold fabric really well. It'll hold this ribbon good. Because when I first got it the first time, I used it on headbands, and that worked so good, so I think it'll be fine here too. All right, let's bring this purse over. I'm gonna lift this up so maybe you can see what I'm doing. See if I can get that handle out of the way. So I'm just going to stick this down in the middle. It's stuck to me. In the middle, about like this, just to be cute. Pull those tails out to the side, like so. I can trim them in a second. Let's close it back up. Cute. All right, I'm gonna trim my tails. So there you go, guys. Paper purse made from poster board. So poster board paper purse, that's hard to say. But if you guys make one of these, you know I want to see it. So head to our customer gallery and post photos of your poster board paper purses and let me see how it turned out. Also, again, tell me what you'd put in here. You could hide all kinds of stuff in here. This thing is huge. Hey, thanks so much for the challenge, Shirley. I really appreciate it and I had fun doing it. And if you have a challenge for me or something you'd like to see me try, let me know in the comments or email me at maymay@maymaymadeit.com. Thanks so much and have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.